Roamer Adventure Network, welcome to 2024. It's our first video of the year. We've been racking our brains a little bit on how to kick things off. 2023 was incredible. You guys grew the channel a ton, so thanks. We got to do some of our favorite reviews and adventures yet, and we got a lot more of that in store this time, but we wanted to kick off by doing something a little different. We are now headed to the Northwest OHV Park, about 45 miles outside of the DFW Metroplex. It's right here in Bridgeport, Texas. And again, dedicated obstacles. Usually we're going point A to point B, or we're on some adventure. This is all about coming out, testing your rig, seeing how it responds. We're gonna see a ton of Jeeps today. We're gonna see plenty of Lexus and Toyotas on the way. But Casey's behind me in his LX570, and I bet, I'm gonna guess that's probably the only one that we see. So we'll go hit the trail, show you guys the highlights, and then come back and see how his rig did and let him follow up with you guys. Thanks for watching, and let's get to it. Let's check in with Jason.
Ready.
You ready? Adam's getting his Jeep set up, ready to go. Now we got to get 4xe ready to go. What you got here?
A little more plate. Essential, although my battery on my gauge has died, so I came unprepared. But
PC always has the latest, coolest gear. We're actually at the Northwest OHV Adventure Park up near Bridgeport, Texas. Believe it or not, that is a Jeep Badge of Honor park. And we've got the Jeep out here, the 4xe. We've got Casey in the Lexus LX570. Can't wait to see what that can do out here on the various trails that we're gonna hit up. And we're taking you guys along for the ride, so happy to do it. Come on, let's go. What's funny out here is there's a ton of trails, and we even have a trail map. So we have a trail map, but there's all these little offshoots everywhere, and people kind of created their own obstacles, and things can either get real hairy or pretty mild, depending on which side you're going on. All right, guys, I grabbed the wheel here of the Lexus. Casey's back behind me now in the Jeep. And man, let me tell you, look at this. Do you see this down here? There are buttons all over the place. We got 4 low, 4 high. We got multi-terrain select options. We got air suspension height. We got shocks, comfort, sport. How you like that Jeep?
What the hell's wrong with it?
What do you mean?
I tried to roll the window up a minute ago. I had to hold the button down the entire time. Also, my seat is cold.
Look at this. His little one push automatic windows, satin aluminum. You got like 5 different colors of leather in here. This is ridiculous. All right, guys. Hey, we're wrapping up the day. We had a ton of fun here at the off-road park. Behind us, Quarry 1 loop, right? All
like
of this
that.
area. See some Jeeps and there's a Toyota out there right now having some fun. We had a blast. We weren't trying to break anything, right? We were just trying to enjoy ourselves.
I
But
don't think anybody did.
I don't know, at least not that we know of yet.
Uh-huh.
So we had Adam and Jason out here with us. Jason had never been off-roading before, and he was our spotter today and did a phenomenal job.
He did a great job. I didn't know he had not been off-road. He did real well.
He did really well, so thankful for that. It's cold. It's been in the teens most of the day, so we're looking forward to jumping back in the car and heating up. But over 24 miles of trail out here, and we didn't hit it all.
No, and we didn't hit anywhere close to the hard stuff.
No, we didn't. Like we said, we're not trying to break anything, but we wanted to put the 570 through its paces.
Yeah.
And we were surprised because we didn't think we were going to see another one out here, but we did.
We did, and we saw one that's been way more heavily modified than mine. Mine might get there eventually, but not right now.
I did my best to knock the rear bumper off so you could replace it with a new one and have an excuse to, but
you failed.
I failed. So why don't we go check it out? Let's go see it, see the Lexus, and remind people what you've actually done to this vehicle. So,
all right. So it's a 2013 LX570. I bought it with about 75,000 miles. It's got a little over 100 now. And number one is tires, which is really the first thing anyone should do to any off-road vehicle, in my opinion. Comes with 31-inch tires stock on a 20-inch wheel. I bought some Land Cruiser takeoffs off of Facebook Marketplace and put a 33-inch tire on there. That's about the biggest tire that's going to fit with no modifications whatsoever. You can go up to a 35 with very limited trimming of the wheel wells and stuff, and that's in my future for sure.
Okay, and we didn't really even mess up any of the rims or anything today, so
no,
the tires did great.
I like these tires. These are Firestone Destination XTs, an underrated tire in my opinion. All right, so this is it's a true rock slider from a company out of Georgia, I think, called TKO Fabrications. They make 2 versions. This is the one with the kick-out plate, which was kind of necessary for me because I got little kiddos climbing in and out of the car and they need a step. They make one that's called the high and tight, which just stays way tight to this rocker panel, and is very sleek looking and frankly far superior looking in my opinion, but couldn't go with it. That's okay.
Definitely a must-have out here.
Yes, and in fact, they got baptized today because I hung up um, that one over there on a rock pretty bad.
Oh,
Um,
really? I think we need to go take a look at
well,
that.
strangely enough, I couldn't find any scraping or anything, but definitely, and I think you've got video of it. Hopefully, we can cut it in. It definitely hung up back here somewhere. I don't know where it was, but
Well, I think that's a pretty good testament to the quality of the manufacturer and, the job they did, that
yeah,
it took the abuse and you really can't even tell.
yeah, um,
These things are worth their weight in gold. If you're going to do any sort of off-roading, you got to protect the body.
right,
And there's a lot of good options out there, but I think you picked a good one.
yeah, and not just the body, but these come with part of the package. There's some. If you don't know about the LX570, it has this hydraulic suspension system that raises and lowers the car for off-roading, and also provides like active ride control and stuff like that. And underneath,
You can see them right
under
back
here,
there.
you can see some of the components of
Mm-hmm.
that,
Yep.
and they need protection. So, in addition to this kick out and everything, the TKO sends them with some protection for that.
Right.
I've got a skid plate from LFD Off-Road, really cool company that I like out of I think North Carolina. They do a lot of really cool stuff. So far from them, I have the skid plate, um, which is really nice. In addition to protection, it's got some cool ports underneath there that facilitate oil changes at home. I really like that. I also have a hidden winch plate from LFD that I've mounted my open road 12K winch to.
That's pretty cool because
Yeah,
you
it's
back up here. We'll get down here where we can see. I mean, it's really hidden. You really got to
yeah,
be looking for that, know what you're looking for to
yeah,
say
you do.
that it's been
Um,
modified that way. And we didn't need it today,
we
thank
didn't.
goodness.
I frankly, I hope I never need it, and we'll
Right.
get to that. But so yeah, and then I also have some roof stuff from LFD.
That's right.
Ruggedized crossbars. I'm missing one today, but
We definitely didn't need it.
no, definitely didn't need those. Uh, I I've done a short video on them in the past. I really like the crossbar option because they give you the option to later remove your factory side rails and go with like a full rack on top that's like completely flat from front to back and side to side.
They're a great company. They make stuff for the 570, but a ton of stuff for the
Yeah,
470. I
yeah.
bought some things from them, and then a ton of Toyota
Ton
products.
of Toyota stuff, and I think they're getting into some of the new Ford Ranger things also, and I think even like the Colorado. So
Yeah.
check them out. We'll link them in the description. Really good company. In fact, I had a little bit of an issue with something they sent me with the skid plate, and the owner was super responsive to get me what I needed and everything. Uh, so great company.
So, you know, got it off road, got it off some
Yeah.
crazy trails out here today. What surprised you about the Lexus today?
This is the first time that I've really got like really tippy with it. Out here, like I said, we stayed on the greens, and out here, green means there's not a lot of like rock obstacles, but it does mean a lot of ditches, um,
Tight turns.
tight turns, turns with ruts in them and stuff. So you're flexing it a lot, and and I mean, I don't know if I slipped a wheel the entire time. It's just really solid and planted.
I was really impressed following you in the Jeep. And, we had a Jeep in front, I was
Hmm.
in back. And so we kind of knew what we were getting into before you dipped into some of these, little turns and S turns and tight fits through trees and things
Yeah,
like that. This thing was a beast. And I got to drive it a little bit. It is incredibly comfortable. It's got all of the bells and whistles in there.
yeah,
So, it was definitely warmer than the Jeep on a day like today.
yes.
And yeah, so you got to drive the Jeep. What did you think of that? I
I
know it wasn't a
did.
lot, but you've never driven one off road.
Yeah,
I'm
that's true.
curious as to what your experience was like.
Yeah, I had never driven a Jeep off of pavement. You had never driven an independent front suspension vehicle off road. Not really. So I was definitely excited to get in one because and actually drive it off road because I have a strange relationship with Jeeps. I love them in concept. I hate them when I actually sit in them. They're not the most comfortable vehicle for someone that's kind of taller like me. But you know, those few days a year when the weather's awesome and you just want to take the top off, you know, I really want to like them, right? But
That's
I was very curious to actually get them in their element off road, where a lot of the things you don't like about a Jeep don't really matter, right? The comfort of it, the highway ride, the steering of it, and so it was interesting. Um, this is the Rubicon model, right? So, from the factory with disconnecting sway bars. Uh, it was interesting to me that you left it in 4 high pretty much the entire day.
Yep.
That's really not possible in that.
Yeah, I kind of got that after I spent a little bit of time
Yeah,
in this thing as well, and you're just you're just more confident in what you can tackle. But this
yeah,
this thing right here, I mean, 4 low, you really need to be in the rocks.
yeah.
You need to be climbing up over boulders. 4 auto, I didn't even put it in 4 high. I just
That's
left it in 4
true.
auto
That's
most of the day.
true.
And the other benefit that this one has, it is the 4xe. And
Yeah,
I would say 80% of the trails out here today, it was running in electric mode, and
yeah.
that's just an unbelievable amount of torque. So it's just easy.
It just crawls. It was really
Just easy.
easy. Yeah, I mean a lot of that's down to the transfer case ratio too, because low in this is 4-to-1.
Mm-hmm.
That is super low. Low in that is like 2.6 ish, I think, to one.
Yeah,
So that's a way different
I
experience.
noticed about 20 miles an hour. This thing, that's when I was like, man, I really just want to take it out. I want to take it out of 4 low and
Yeah,
let it do its thing down some of the double track.
I can understand that. But you know,
It's
like
just
I
a
said,
more of
I've
a
had it
comfort
up in
thing. Yeah.
passes and stuff in Colorado and whatnot, and once you get used to the transmission, like you can be in 4 low and get it up there into like fourth and fifth gear and stuff, and it's really fine even at like 20-25 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So, but whatever. Had the sway bars disconnected. I was very curious about that because this, especially when it goes into high mode,
Okay.
which does firm up the suspension. There's no getting around that. A little bit, although it wasn't as bad as I expected. So you can really start to get your head kind of knocked around in that on some of the stuff we were on today. Um, and so with this, I, really wanted to get in it with the sway bars disconnected and everything and just see if it kind of doesn't toss you around as much. I mean, it doesn't, but it wasn't as drastic as I was expecting,
Right.
you know.
Well, and the
Um,
other thing with the 570 versus something like a Jeep is just the size, just the
yeah,
overall size and where it fits on the trail.
yeah,
This thing just slips through all kinds of stuff.
yeah,
And there was a couple of times where we're trying to slip through a couple different trees or around corners. We had to do a couple extra 3-point turns in this, or really spot you to make sure that
yeah,
we didn't, scratch all the way down the side with
yeah.
one of the trees. It's a benefit out on the trails for sure, but you're giving up a lot because you got 2 car seats in that thing,
Yep.
tons of stuff in the back, heated and cooled seats, like 5 different kinds of or different colors of leather and wood and all kinds of satin trim. It's awesome.
It
It's
is
awesome.
awesome, and that's really why I bought it, and what attracted me to it is just how good it is at so
Oof.
many different things.
Yeah.
Like I said, we took a family camping trip to Colorado this summer, and one day I was out on Line Creek Road Trail out south of Silverton on a really, really rocky
Mm.
shelf road, and aired down. It did great. We had a ton of fun. Hit the skid plate once or twice, and
Kids
then
probably laughed at that.
they probably, yeah, they
They
did,
loved it.
yeah. But the kids, they're hanging out back there. They're having a great time. It's 50 degrees outside because we're in the mountains in the summer. Very next day, we're doing a day trip out to Mesa Verde, which is like east of Durango at a much lower elevation. It's 85, the sun's blasting, and we're cruising down the highway at 85 miles an hour, air conditioner on, cooled seats on, and it's just smooth as glass on the highway,
Yeah,
right?
it's just,
Like,
look, it just does all kinds of things, like you
right.
said. It's made this one, and I've got 2 GX470s at home that the family drives. We've got a need for quite a few vehicles these days.
Yeah.
And it's definitely made us a believer in the Lexus and Toyota platform.
Hmm.
Easy to work on, cheap parts, hella reliable. I still love that Jeep over there. You pry it
Yeah.
from my cold, dead hands.
Yeah. Oh,
Casey, get over here. Get over here. We're going to put a wrap on this
all
video.
right. All right.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like the videos. Your support has meant everything to us. We've had a great time doing car reviews, camper reviews, going on adventures. And last year we got into some hardware and
Mhm.
actually doing some little reviews of the things we like to use when camping. And believe it or not, people comment on that more than anything.
Way more than anything.
So please do interact with us. We love answering questions. And we'll see what we can dredge up for you guys in 2024. Thanks for watching. Awkward Wave?
Awkward wave.
Awkward Wave sticks around for one more year.